Hey, what's up, guys? I'm up here looking at all kinds of stuff. Wasn't paying attention that we were live yet. But good morning, guys. Of course, I always got stuff to talk about. I don't even know I was going to say that. Um, but yeah, so I got a couple of news stories I want to talk about, and I want to talk about. Of course, I'm going to answer some questions about projects that you guys had yesterday, as well as any questions you guys have today. So you can go ahead and get those questions in the comments. Try to make sure everything is good today. Have my VPN is turned off. The camera is plugged up to power. So hopefully we have no problems today. So I'm here to answer some questions you guys may have and talk about something bad that happened to one of my members. I wanted to talk about it yesterday, but I guess I was trying to beat around the bush. But sometimes you can't beat around the bush, I guess. So yeah, Bitcoin's price looking pretty decent. Let me retrace a little bit from yesterday because I think it was at like 43.7 yesterday, and I think at one point it went back down to like 42. So it dropped like $1,000, which is a lot of money for Bitcoin. I can't tell you why. I never really focus on that. But one thing I do want to talk about is, or a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to get through some of these news stories. So I saw this article here. Man, this is a lot. I'm not even going to lie. When I first saw the story, I was like, really? Like when you see stuff like this, it seems far-fetched. It always seems like there's more to the story. But apparently in the story, German police seized 2.1, it doesn't matter about the points, $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is huge. They said that it was two guys that were running a piracy website back in 2013. And piracy, they violated copyright laws or whatever. So the authorities feel like they used the money they made from the piracy site to buy Bitcoin, which was a lot cheaper then, especially if they bought it then. So I don't know if they were still buying or whatever. But this is the story. They said they seized 50,000 Bitcoins, 50,000 individual Bitcoins. But the story goes that, it's blockchain. So they didn't necessarily seize the Bitcoin, but they say that the guys voluntarily handed over the wallets that they were holding the Bitcoin on. So it's a really big story. I just feel like there's more to it. It's not even from the side of the supposedly criminals. It just sounds a little fishy. Like there may be a little more to this story that's missing. So I don't know. But that's a lot of money too. I'm like, you tell me, because Bitcoin's market cap is what? And I don't check it every day. Yeah, so I mean, Bitcoin's market cap is around 800 billion, and these guys themselves had 2 billion of it. And we're not talking about people that have an ETF or like a MicroStrategy. Just two individual guys, whether they had a small or big company or not, that's a lot of Bitcoin to be holding out of the entire Bitcoin supply. So it's an interesting story. There's so many ways to look at it and layers to it. Um, this story here, which I've already talked about, but apparently it's getting more pushed now in the press, and a lot of more people talking about it. Financial experts or whatever you want to call them, that a lot of people think that the Ethereum ETF is going to be improved in May, and which would cause another spike in money coming into the market, because we already have the Bitcoin ETF, and of course Grayscale had to do that big sell off or whatever. So Bitcoin's price is going down. Then we have the halving that's coming, and we're going to have this whole pre-halving pump that's coming as well, and as well as ETF approval in May. That would be really big for the space. But I keep just thinking about like how this cycle is going to be. Right now, I feel like it's going to be a regular cycle where we really in this accumulation phase, which is what the video is titled, until it's not next fall anymore, it's this fall, because we're in 2024. But with all these different bullish news, I just want to see how it's handled. Like, are these big money whales are going to be, taking profits along the way? Because if they know how the market's going to work, because they're whales. So are they going to be taking 5 and 10% along the way? I know we're used to those big dips in this accumulation phase anyway, But I'm just wondering how many more we're going to get now that Wall Street is here and we have the Bitcoin ETFs or whatever. So while everybody's waiting for their 100% or whatever on Bitcoin or whatever, they've been slowly taking theirs as time goes on. So it's just interesting, like to think of where this could go. And they're thinking that ETH could hit its 4,000 again. I don't know if you heard last cycle. You remember? I think ETH was like at, I may be wrong, but I know it was over 4,000, but I think it hit like 4,300, 4,400, maybe even 47, but it crossed 4,000. So they're thinking that they can do that once again. I don't know how quick people are saying I never really try to focus on how quick these things are going to happen or whatever. But this is kind of back in line with Bitcoin again. I'm pretty sure you have heard the story probably once, but Google allowing them to have crypto ads, on Google because they were against it before, and so you got BlackRock and VanEck and Templeton, excuse me, already advertising their different commercials on Google. It's going to be huge, and like I said in the video a while ago, I really believe we're going to have Bitcoin ETF commercials. That's going to be huge. Like when it's, not the Bitcoin. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest watched events. So if we have Bitcoin ETFs during the Super Bowl, like I said, it legitimizes it more for people who are naysayers or that are on the fence about crypto, and it could bring a lot of money into the space. Um, but yeah, so this is dope. I'm kind of going through these stories really quick because I got a little tangent to go on today, and then I want to answer your questions from yesterday and questions that you guys may have in the chat today, and talk about some stuff. We'll see how the stream goes. But I know a lot of people are going to ask, so I'm already going to address it. Um, as you should know, if you're in the space, Solana has been seeing a lot of volume and on their dexes and things because a lot of people are trying to farm this Jupiter airdrop. And just to be, I didn't even pull that. Let me pull this tab up. So yeah, a lot of people have been trying to farm this Jupiter airdrop because Jito was big, and airdrops it's almost a narrative this cycle, or it really is a narrative. It was a thing before, but it's really huge this time around. But if you heard me say on the stream the other day, or no, I think I talked about it on my Patreon, what I would need Jupiter to be at, it is nowhere near there. I'm just being honest. I'm gonna address something in a minute, but my channel's too small to fud anything. So um, I don't see myself buying Jupiter this cycle, like at all. It's not so because I know people are going to ask, like, are you farming the airdrop? Are you going to buy Jupiter? Are you bullish on it? At this valuation and this even circulating market cap, I don't think it'll be something I hold ever, like this cycle, or I don't know, maybe even after. It's just a little bit too high for me. And it's not that, like I said in my other video, it's not that I micro cap hunt and everything has to be low, because I have bought into some things that are in the hundreds of million as far as market cap. Um, I love what Jupiter does. Like I said, it's not just a DEX, it's an aggregator. And does a lot of different things, but just not it's not for me. I don't it's not gonna be for me. I'm because apparently people think I FUD stuff, which, like I said, I'll address later. But it's not gonna be something I buy. So before people are asking, you are you buying Jupiter? The answer is no. Um, but I hope people make great money on the airdrop or whatever. So yeah, I blew through those stories, and hopefully you grasp them. I try not to take too long with these stories or whatever. I want the flow of my lives to be pretty decent. Now, so I actually pulled up the tab way before I wanted to. But so I'm gonna read this comment that somebody left on the channel. They said, I know you want to keep some things close to your chest, true. And I'll address really why that is. They said, but you got to talk about some of your picks more instead of a FUD fest on everything. I love the knowledge you spit, but I like to see more dissection on the things you're bullish about. Um, so, which one- I'll address the FUD comment first. Um, uh, I have my perspective. There's a saying that goes that we see ourselves as we see ourselves, right? We know our names, we know what we think of ourselves, but every person in your life, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, all of them see you a completely different way, whether you realize it or not. Because everybody has a different perspective. Some people, your one cousin may say he's the nicest person I know. The other one may say you're one of the meanest person they know. So I can't help how people see me, but what I will say is my channel is not for fudding. My channel at the end of the day is only to help people make money. And so I appreciate that you say you love some of the knowledge I talk about, but you seem to think that I have a FUD fest on my channel. It's not the purpose of my channel at all. And so let me address clearly why I said what I said yesterday. Satoshi VM was why I went on that whole rant. And I know some of you guys are still not going to like this, but this is my channel. I'm going to speak what I feel and how I see it. So the reason I said that, and I got some notes so I can get this out clearly. Straight to the point, someone lost a lot of money in my Patreon on Satoshi VM. Okay. So I was talking about like BRC20 and I know it's going to be a narrative and Bitcoin layer twos. And so the person felt like I was like fudding or I guess or whatever, right? But I said that because I'm gonna try to read my notes here. For one, the person bought in at $12. This whole Bitcoin layer two thing could be a big narrative because of what what they say they do or whatever. But my point is, for one, the website looked like trash to me. That's number one. But my thing is, you saying you want to create layer twos on Bitcoin. All right, let's make this simple. You want to create layer twos on Bitcoins, which a layer two is supposed to make the network faster, make it more scalable, and all that kind of stuff. So some people saying they want to build games on Bitcoin. They want to have DeFi on Bitcoin. But the main objective of a layer two is to make a blockchain faster and more scalable. Now, if you've been in the space a while, if you're new to the space, you may not understand this, but let's just break this down for you that have been around at least for a little while. Do you see the problems that Ethereum layer twos are still having? Ethereum is much faster than Bitcoin. It was built for DeFi and smart contracts. It was built for that purpose. So if you see that layer twos are already having trouble, they are cheaper in fees and stuff, but most people are building their games on Ethereum layer twos. Now we're at the point where we have Ethereum layer threes because we have DJI Gaming, which is a layer three. It's a layer two on Arbitrum, right? So we're having to go to those measures on Ethereum to make it the blockchain faster and more scalable. How much harder do you think is going to be to do that on Bitcoin? I'm not trying to FUD anybody's bags or anybody's narratives. I'm just trying to get you to think. Because I was planning to say the statement later because if you see, I got to get back to this, but if you see FUD on a project that I talk about, I'm not going to get defensive. I'm going to be like, hey, what did you hear? I'm not going to say, no, don't talk about that in the Patreon. Like I have that much conviction in the plays that I bought into. So if there's some FUD on it, I want to hear it too. I want to assess how I think about it. And all those kind of things. You will never, if you got to get defensive every time there's FUD on something you invested in, maybe you don't have as much conviction as you think. But as I was saying with the Ethereum layer twos, they're already having those problems. My thing is, with knowing that knowledge, if you're a regular retail investor, which I am as well, if you already know Ethereum layer twos are having somewhat problems and they're not able to do fully everything they want to do, I believe a person who is so-called building a layer two on Bitcoin knows this also. Which leads me to think, why would you create a project with such an ambitious level of ambitious goal? I feel like it's not a reachable goal, which makes me feel like you're a con artist to begin with. That's how I see it. If we're already having Ethereum layer twos that are still having to work things out, we got to go modular. We got to have Celestia handle your data availability. If you're a developer and you're creating a project, you know this. That's why I say I feel like is it going to be a narrative? Of course it is, because it sounds cool, right? So I'm not saying it's going to be a narrative. Once again, my channel is too small to FUD anything, but I'm just trying to give the people that watch me something to think about, some perspective. It doesn't mean you don't invest in these things, but it gives you some perspective to think about. Because like I said, it just didn't seem right to me. So let me ask you this question. I'm always using analogies. So if you have two products that somebody presents to you and you're going to be an investor in them and you can only make money if they work, right? I know crypto is speculative and you can't be too smart in crypto. I tell people that too. Don't try to be too smart in crypto. But if you give people two products and you have to invest in these products and they have to work for you to make money, one guy comes to you and he says, I got this thing called, I got a water purifier that I just created and it needs to purify your water and work for you to make money. That's choice one. Choice two is a guy comes to you and he says, I got this formula that I just created, right? And if you drink this formula, you can get in the ring with Mike Tyson and beat up Mike Tyson. But the person that takes this formula has to win this match against Mike Tyson in order for your investment to go well. Which one are you buying? You're going to buy the water purifier. You're not about to buy this thing over here that people are telling you you can beat up Mike Tyson. So what I'm saying is crypto is speculative enough. A Bitcoin layer 2 narrative will be bullish because it sounds cool and people are going to be like, what? DeFi on Bitcoin? I can see. So I'm not saying these things won't pump. I can see how they can pump. But what I'm saying is there's too many things or reasons for it not to pump. I want to be taking as least risk as I can when I'm investing in a product. So like I said, I never was too bullish about Satoshi VM. I'm sorry. Now, some of you are probably saying, watch, he gonna see it's gonna pump. I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is there's reasons that it could not. I don't trust the people behind it because what they're saying it does is just like very ambitious. I don't see the money backing you. I don't see enough VC money backing this project to be a Bitcoin layer 2 that can make Bitcoin faster, cheaper, and scalable. I don't see that right now. So that's why I said yesterday, these things can pump, but I don't mind missing them if they do, because there's just too many risks for me. When you're talking about doing these things, ZK rollups to, build your apps and games on. We're having trouble building games on Ethereum. Why would I try to go build a game on Bitcoin? It does not make sense to me. Maybe next cycle after there's been more development and it's been a thing for longer. But if we're having trouble, yeah, I'm not going to keep talking about that because I'll talk about it all day. But like I said, I respect more, and this is going to sound crazy, but meme coins, because meme coins are they're just trying to build a bullish community. They're just trying to build hype. Before when somebody comes with something that they know is difficult and they're trying to present it, it just makes me think you're a con artist already. So that's how I feel about that. And that's why I don't mind missing them. I'm not fudding them and saying they won't pump, but it's just too much of a risk for me. Yeah. So like I said, I said crypto is about speculation. It sounds, bullish, the whole Bitcoin layer 2 narrative or whatever. And there's going to be people that come in, they're going to be crazy about it. They're going to be like, this will be nice, but it's just not for me. And so the other comment was, the person said, I know you want to keep a lot of your picks close to your chest. So now this one, I gotta watch how I say this. So number one, of course, I want to keep my picks close to my chest. Number two is because I'm presenting them to my Patreon and that's what they're paying for. And the title of this video is Accumulation Phase. I need to give my Patreon members time to accumulate. There's one pick in particular that I had already been talking about for months, even before I created the Patreon, when I created the Patreon. And so I also realize, and I respect people who do their own research and have their own convictions. So it wasn't even enough for me to say one of these picks that I'm talking about. It wasn't until somebody much bigger than me started talking about it. And they were like, wait a minute, hey, did you know such and such is talking about this project now? And it's like, yeah, I've been talking about this project for months. I bought in way long ago. And I understand that sometimes people need a little bit more conviction. But because they're in my Patreon, I need to give them time to accumulate. So no, I'm not going to be coming to the channel, especially with some of the picks I got and the market caps they're at, and talking about them on the channel for other people to start talking about it in their Patreon or becoming more bullish on it. I need my members to get time, to have time to accumulate these projects. So no, I'm not going to always be talking about them on my channel. Number two, I'm not a shilling channel. You can call me arrogant or whatever, but I say this on quite a few streams. My picks, I do not need to pump. They are going to pump themselves. I don't need to keep talking. I know other channels do that. For my channel is different. I'm not copying anybody's channel. I don't need to be like, well, usually that's what YouTubers do. I don't care what they do. It's my channel. This channel does not operate like other people's channels. I'm not going to come on like I talk about a pick in the Patreon and I come on here every day and talk about it. I don't need to. For one, my channel's small, so how much can I really pump the coin anyway? What I will say is if I talk about it on my channel, other channels will see it. They have bigger Patreons and groups. Their Patreons could quickly pump 10 and 20 million into these picks. Why would I do that to the people in my Patreon? I want to give them time to accumulate. I don't want to start talking about it on the channel too early just so I can be the guy on YouTube like, see, when I talked about it before anybody else. The people in my Patreon know I talked about it before anybody else. That's all that matters to me. And I keep having to say this. I am not trying to be a big time YouTuber. My career is in entertainment. I don't care about being a big YouTuber. I'm just here to help the people that I can make money. So yes, I'm keeping my picks close to my chest because my Patreon needs time to accumulate them. I need time to accumulate them. There's a couple of picks I'm still trying to buy more and more of as much as I can. And I don't think people realize, none of us know how this market is going to work because all the ETF news and the market is moving faster. Let me see where I am in time. I'm pretty decent. But I want to give myself time to accumulate. I believe that we're going to have this pre-halving pump, right? Altcoins are going to pump, but you still have your accumulation time at least up till, I would say, August of this year, hopefully, if the market doesn't run too fast. And what people don't know is you don't want the market to run too fast. I can't get people to understand that, but yeah. So I'm not going to be talking about them because I'm trying to accumulate them. I said that too. Yeah, if there's FUD on one of my projects, you don't see me getting scared. Somebody brought up some FUD on one of my projects the other day. I think it was like late last week. I didn't get scared and say, no, DM me. Don't talk about that in front of the group. It's like, oh, you heard some FUD. All right, what is it? What is it? Oh, okay, I see what it is. I got conviction in my projects. I don't mind, people talking about FUD on the project. You don't be dumb. If you hear FUD that really seems legit and it feel like it can take your project down, then maybe you should get out of the project. But you shouldn't be afraid of FUD on your projects. Like then you're in the wrong projects and you don't have enough conviction. Anyway. Yeah, and I think that was kind of in the comment too. Like I'm the type of person like I'm from the 90s, man. And I know people have this on social media, especially on YouTube, where they only want to say stuff that people will like because that makes more people stay on their channel or brings more people in. I can say all the stuff you want to hear now and you can be wrecked later, or I can say stuff that you don't like now. You'll be mad at me, but you'll be in better projects and you'll thank me for it later when your projects are pumping. So here we go into so I'm going to answer some of the picks that you guys asked about. And I'm going to be honest, I'm answering them how I see to answer them. And I don't know if I have any good news, to be honest, but I'm just answering the questions that were asked. These were from yesterday. And if you have some more comments or questions to ask, you can ask them now in the comments and I'll answer those as best as I can. If I can answer them now, I will. Or if I have to take time to look into them, I will do that. The first one that I have seen asked about a lot on my stream, I'm not sure why, to be honest, but apparently either somebody's talking about it or whatever. The first project that a lot of people asked about and have been wanting me to answer is RightStream. So RightStream is they want to be I'm explaining this loosely. I didn't do a deep dive, but I feel like deep enough. But they want to be a fundraising platform, I guess, for filmmakers and TV shows, somewhat kind of following the narrative of Hello-ish a little bit. For those of you that don't know, if you've been on the channel hearing me talk about this, I would be the person to talk about this. Because if you don't know, my main source of income, my main life is I am a filmmaker and an actor. So when I talk about this project, I'm coming from this is a different angle. So once again, I'm going to say it again. My main life source of income is the entertainment industry. I'm a producer, a filmmaker, and an actor. I'll say off rip, I don't like this project. So I know people don't want to hear that because a lot of y'all been asking about it. Number one, a crypto, I'm trying to stick to my notes here, y'all. a crypto platform that's raising money for filmmakers. Do you know how hard it is to fundraise money as a filmmaker with regular cash on the GoFundMe's and the Indiegogos, right? You're saying you want to bring that much money into crypto, which a lot of people are not even using yet? That doesn't even make logical sense. Once again, I know the market is driven on speculation, but that in itself doesn't even sound like of a sound mind. Like, I don't want to knock anybody's ambitions and project, but it brings me back to like the Satoshi VM. You know, this project is ambitious. If you say ambitious, if you say you worked in filmmaking before, whatever, you should think to yourself like. So what I'm saying is, long term goal. It sounds cool. But if we're talking about making money right now in this cycle when people are still adopting crypto itself, I would not invest in this project. I feel like I think it's, maybe I should pull it up. I feel like there's better projects around this market cap are way more bullish. Now you're going to have the people that invested probably early, maybe when it was a 1 or 2 million market cap. They're going to like, no, it's bullish. Yeah, because you got in early. But right now there's better projects. Let me stick to my notes. Like I said, crypto hasn't been fully adopted yet. And you want to have people invest in filmmakers using crypto. Excuse me. Um, then this is the other thing that's weird to me. So you want me to subscribe to your platform like Netflix. So I'm paying to subscribe to the platform that's like Netflix, but you don't have content already, but the platform is also to raise money to create content. So the content is not created already, but you want to raise money to create the content, but I'm already paying a subscription fee. Where's the content that's going to be on the project, on the platform? That was weird. Um, and I'll say this is going to be a very probably condescending sounding statement, but I'm a filmmaker. Um, I would say only desperate filmmakers or films that are going to be bad are going to use this, that are desperate to make money. For those of us that know what we're doing in filmmaking, is I don't see my film. I'm like, listen, y'all, this is my whole life is filmmaking. I don't know if you know this, like crypto is way more than secondary. I have tons of filmmaking friends. The guy said he's been nominated for Emmys. I got friends that I've worked with, that I've done films with, that I can call right now that hold 12 Emmys. Not nominated, they hold 12 Emmys. I got a lot of friends that I know you guys don't know my outside life. You just think I'm in crypto, but my life is filmmaking. I have friends with Emmys and not just nominated, and they're filmmakers still currently, and they'd be like, what RightStream is doing? No, like that's real filmmakers is going to look at this and be like, nah, y'all sound like y'all trying to make money off us. Um, it doesn't really sound logical, and you can invest in it if you want. That's just my take on it as a filmmaker. I don't like it. Oh, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, y'all. Here's the other thing. This is the biggest one. I am a filmmaker, y'all. Are you telling me? So, for one, so I'm gonna have people fundraise my film, and then you're gonna tell me these people have ownership of my film? You've lost your mind. What? No. You can get a listen. I don't know if you I'm sorry. This one's crazy for me. You can get a thank you can get a credit, but then there was a thing on the thing about them the people that hold the token. It sounds cool for them, but they can determine the outcome of my film. So now I gotta go book a location. I gotta pay for the location because these people wanted to see a fire in Chuck E. Cheese's, or they want to see, like, that changes my whole film budget. Like, this is not easy to y'all who invest in y'all. It sounds cool, but as a filmmaker, I'm like, this sounds. I was about to say a word I shouldn't say. It sounds crazy. That's what I'll say. You determining the outcome of the film. No, now you making my job hard because my AD has already made a schedule. My AD has already booked locations. My AD has already paid for food. It's not as easy as it sounds. It sounds cool to y'all, but it sounds dumb to a filmmaker. It could still pump. It could still do 100x. I'm sorry, but it wouldn't be. I'm not bullish on it. It sounds crazy. Anyway, let me move to the next one. because apparently people think I just FUD on my channel. God, how did I get that reputation already? I don't think it's a reputation. Only one person said that. CKB. So the good thing I will say is I was bullish on CKB, Nervous Network. If you don't know, last cycle, excuse me, CKB, and I'm going to say had, Nervous Network had some of the best backers last cycle. Let me make this quicker so y'all don't think I'm rambling. But the backers that I know of that were behind Nervous Network have projects this cycle that they're much more bullish on, that they are talking about, that they're trying to pump. So that's number one. I feel like Nervous Network is the old baby. Nervous Network was something I invested in last cycle early. But the thing was that interoperability wasn't as big as a narrative as it is this cycle. It was something that people were bullish on and wanted to see. But this cycle, we have much more interoperability protocols and projects. Nervous Network is also proof of work, which is another narrative. But like I said, I feel like the VCs have moved on. Let me stick to my notes. Like I said, it was one of the biggest interoperability projects last cycle. But here's the thing, I think from a retail standpoint, investor standpoint, I think what let me pull it up while I'm talking. I'm sorry, because I should have pulled up the other one too. But the thing that happened last cycle, whether people want to realize it or not, is a lot of people, retail investors, were coming in and they had what I call memeonomics, which means, as you can see on screen, hopefully you can see on screen, and it is pumping now, but whatever. I'm gonna give my point, take on it. So is that it's under a penny, and people are like, oh, it's like got zeros and in front of the decimal, whatever. That's really, be honest, why CKB, because I was in the community, I know why I was pumping last cycle, because everybody was like, it's going to get a penny or 2 penny once it gets there, and people see those zeros behind the decimal. And that's why a lot of people get bullish on Nervos. A lot of people don't even understand what Nervos does. But it's supposed to be interoperability, it's proof of work, and bring all the blockchains together. But like I said, there's so many bigger projects that are doing that this cycle. And the market cap of CKB, to be an old project, if you don't know, this project launched like way back here. Actually, I think it really was around 2018, but as you can see, this is 2019 when this project came out. Like I said, I believe the VCs have moved on. And if you're new in retail and you're thinking about price and you're like, oh, this is a low price, that's not what it's on. It's based on market cap. The market cap of CKB right now is 200 million. But what I will say this good about it, that most of the tokens seem to be out and it's kind of like fully diluted. I could see maybe Nervos doing maybe a 10 to 15x. But my thing is, if I want a 10 or 15x, if I want a 15x, I can find a project that I believe can do a 30x. I don't get a project that I think can just do a 15x. Like I said, I'm not fudding anything. This is my takes on it. It's an older project. Interoperability is much bigger than narrative this cycle. We have other things that are coming out that are huge in interoperability. And that the VCs they still need to pump this time around, not from last cycle. So yeah, like I said, I've held Nervos last cycle. It would not be something that I hold this cycle. Someone asked, what do I think is the matic or the phantom of this cycle? That's something I wouldn't answer on stream. I would answer that in the Patreon. And once again, I know a lot of people just say, oh, get in my Patreon or whatever. I'm not saying it because of that. It's because I value the people that are on my Patreon. They believe in my takes on things, and I want to give it to them and give them time to accumulate. I don't want to talk about that on stream. But I will say, if you follow the crypto community, some of these won't be hard to know about, I don't think. So here's the next one that someone asked about. And I wish I can go back and read your exact comment. Let me see if I can pull your comment up real quick. And then I'll answer questions in the chat. Let me read your comment as best as I can. You said Kudos is one I have been accumulating lately. Can you look at it, please? I feel like there was another comment that you made about it having good backers, or maybe that was another project. Me, myself, I'm not that bullish on Kudos, number one, because it itself is an older project. As you see, it launched in January 2021. That's one reason. Kudos, if I'm not mistaken, did have pretty good backers behind them. But one thing I'll say, like I said, it's older. That's not always the reason, but if it's older and then launched at the end of the last bull cycle, that's one thing. But this one launched at near the beginning. It is like decentralized GPU, computing sharing or whatever. Like you have render that you can share your GPU power. This is computing power. This was big. I don't know. Actually, I don't want to say it was big, but it was in the conversation last cycle with, I don't know if you know, it's a project called LFIM, which was pretty much big in the Solana space. LFIM is decentralized compute sharing, which means you're sharing your computing power that you have left over, or whatever, just like people with render share their GPU power that's left over. And like I said, it launched at the beginning of 2021. It's kind of too old for me, but I will say that decentralized computing could be a thing this cycle, because we do have DeepN, which I haven't talked about a lot on my channel. We have that whole narrative this cycle. But I'm still of the camp of trying to find fresher projects. This is not a high market cap. It is 64 million. Did I put? Yeah, I got it on the screen. It's 64 million. Fully diluted is 110, which is not, so it's not even a 2x from circulating the fully diluted, which is good. But it's just not one that I'm necessarily bullish on. I feel like even with the DPN narrative, that there will probably be bigger projects in that space. I will read your comments if you guys have some other takes on that. But that's just how I feel about it. It could follow the DPN narrative, but it's from last cycle, was kind of competing with a LFIM and all that kind of stuff. Here's the other thing: the reputable people that I even see following the project, as far as on Twitter, they're pumping other projects. I don't see any of them talking about it, because I believe as I said, I believe they followed it last cycle. And most of the other people that are following it are like the exchanges or whatever. I don't see like anybody, like far as influencers, that's going to pump the crap out of this coin, because whether we like it or not, you got the scamming influencers that pump stuff, but you also want some influencer talking about the project that you're invested in. So for me, I would say, no, I'm not trying to FUD. I would say maybe it could do maybe a 20x if it follows the DPN narrative. I don't know. It could do more than that. This is just my take on it. It's not something I'm necessarily bullish on. I try to find stuff that can at least 50x. Really, I'm shooting for 100x on my stuff. But yeah, I'm good with the 50x. You can't be too greedy. That's why a lot of y'all get messed up, because y'all just be looking for the micro caps that could 1000x, and some of those ones that you think 1000x don't even do a 20x. Anyway, now I've been talking a lot. Let me read you guys' comments. So, 30. I keep hitting that 37-minute mark. God darn it. I'll be trying to finish this around 27, but we'll get there. Oh, EA isn't here. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Shay said, good morning, Zoe. Don said, what it do? North said, morning, boss. Fly said, top of the morning, been in the game for 3 cycles and your content is underrated. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I know, I don't talk about, I'm not the guy who's like hyping stuff up every day, but it's important to know the stuff not to be hyped about, because like I said, I feel, only reason I didn't talk about Satoshi on the stream yesterday is because I don't want to be offensive to the people that are my Patreon, because that could hurt them. And I asked them, do you mind if I talk about it on the stream today to let people know why I was talking about that? And they were like, it's okay or whatever, but they lost a lot of money. And so you can't just talk about what will pump. You got to talk about what won't, because if you lose all your money now at the beginning of the cycle, you don't have anything to be excited about, because you don't have any bags to pump because you lost all your money. So I got to talk about the stuff to watch out for. Like I've said, I'm not saying BRC20 won't pump and Bitcoin layer 2s won't pump. I'm just saying it's not in my scope. I got some friends that are in the space that probably want to slap me right now because they really bullish on this stuff. So, but everybody's going to have a different take. I don't have the perfect take. I don't have the crystal ball. But I appreciate you saying the content is underrated. I try to do my best. Eddie said, good morning, everyone. I love Eddie. Eddie's a cool guy. Keeps me encouraged a lot too, Eddie. I don't know if I tell you that enough. Fly said, yeah, Jito was just got the juke drop, and let's say this not the same. Oh, it wasn't the same. Yeah, I mean, I figured it wasn't. A lot of people's hyping it up, and the market cap is just too high for me for Jupiter. It still could pump, but I don't think it's gonna pump the X's that I want. Like I said, I don't microcap hunt. I don't look for market caps. I look for X's. JG said, good morning, everybody. I love you guys' spirit when y'all come here. I don't have to have the most watches on my lives. I like you guys' energy when you come here. As he said, what do you think about DJI game, bro? DJI. We all want to say we know every pick that's out there, but I don't know if I've heard of this one. Oh, it's literally called DJI Game too. Hmm. Oh, it just kind of launched. Let me see. Let me look up. Let me pull up two other things to look up. This is quick research, so don't take this as full on like almost there, guys. Let me see. I know maybe y'all like them, and I'm a perspective guy. I talk about a lot. I will talk about different projects on my channel, but I just try. You got to make sure your mind is right first. Um, I will say DJI Gaming at this point with quick research doesn't look as bullish for a number of factors. I can't find the people who are backing it. Their Twitter doesn't look too hot. I see that they just launched it in 2020, December 2023. I will say I see a respectable project that I like following it. As far as influencers or anyone else that I respect in the space as researchers, I don't see too many of them following it. But I'll have to look and do deeper research on it, and maybe I'll put it on my my list to do a deeper dive on. Let me pull up my list real quick, guys. This may take just a second. I'll put it on my list to look a little deeper into. Excuse me. All right, I'll look deeper into it, but it doesn't look the hottest right now. Jack said CryptoZo, any idea what's happening with JoyStream? It's been going down in the spiral. I heard the team run out of money. Have you heard anything? So I talked about this on the stream, and this is what I was talking about, like people getting afraid about FUD and stuff. I'll say straight up. For one, I bought my JoyStream bags early. And I've talked about this quite a few times on the stream that people, once a price start falling in the project that they told you about, they want to ignore it. I'm not going to be the person to ignore it. I talked about SophiaVerse and JoyStream. With JoyStream, I got on them because Barry Silbert was. I saw him following them and found out he was behind it, and that means they had a good backer. For one, Barry Silbert has left. That's number one. Number two, I've talked about this as well. For everybody who felt like a genius in the bear market, picking all these picks, like the G-Files and JoyStream. For one, the projects that are going to be bullish this cycle weren't out yet. So I was bullish on JoyStream at the time. I still hold the JoyStream bags and been watching them go down. But I got in early. So here's the thing. Like I've been saying, for these people who just keep trying to sell you stuff that they talked about in the bear market and like, still be bullish. All the shiny toys weren't out yet. And so JoyStream was big because it seemed like it could be the theta of this cycle. Still could be, we don't know. But what I'll say is there's a lot of new shiny toys coming out. So it's not that it could be that they've been running out of money. It could be that Barry Silbert is gone. It could be all those kinds of things. But I still stick to this number one, that crypto is about speculation and stuff that seems cool. And so there's a lot of new shiny games out. So that could be it just by itself. I'm gonna decide how long I'm gonna keep holding JoyStream. But so as a person who made a video on it on my channel, yeah, I mean I hold the bags, but I'm losing my bullishness on it as well. They got to do something. I've said this. I don't know if you probably haven't seen all my streams, but I've talked about it on my streams. I've been saying I need to see more from JoyStream. I need to see you guys doing something. And yeah, it's cool. Y'all follow me and stuff. That I'm not one of those influencers. I don't care. My sole purpose is making money. It's not to look cool. It's not to build a big YouTube following. So y'all need to do something. We gonna see, bro. So I guess if you're asking like, would I buy it now? Usually when a token starts following and retracing, that's when you want to buy it if you have conviction in it. But like I said, I'm getting a little less bullish on it. Still holding it. We're gonna see what happens. There's my take on that. Let's get through these. EA said good picks pump themselves. Yeah, man, they pump. So if you're new to my channel and you're used to other people's channels, me and EA will cover it. I see him do it. He'll cover the pick because it's good. He'll let you know what it's about. He'll tell you, everything is bullish about it. We don't keep coming back to our channel like, remember. Like, you don't need to do that with good picks. They're gonna pump themselves. So if you, like I said this before, If you expecting to come to my channel and you need reassurance every day, I am not knocking you. I am not trying to say anything bad. I realize that some people suffer from anxiety. I don't. I understand some people need to be reassured every day. I'm not knocking these people. I'm not making fun of you, but it's just not going to be the things I do on my channel. I'm trying to make sure your perspective is correct, that you're thinking correctly every day. I try to remind you of those things. I will come back and talk about picks that I've talked about. It doesn't mean I'm not bullish on them. I think some people see it as that, like, oh, you haven't talked about it in a while. You didn't make a follow-up video. So are you still bullish? Just ask me, am I still bullish on it? And I'll just answer that like I did with RightStream. Because it takes a lot of time to make these videos, whether you know it or not. I am busy using my time to research new projects to give to my Patreon versus making a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube channel to build the channel. I am trying to build the channel. It's cool because it helps or whatever. But yeah, good picks pump themselves, man. I don't have to pump them. They're gonna do it. Say said, do you have a lifetime or a 1 year membership? Yeah, I just kind of created that. I didn't put it on the group yet. So how would you reach me? You can DM me on Twitter. Can you DM on YouTube? I know you could back in the day, but I haven't done that in a while. You said, can I get a quick 2x or 3x buy alert in your Patreon? Yes and no. Mainly no, though, because I try to find the picks that they may be sitting still for a while, but I know they're going to rip when the bull run starts. But some of them do. I will say that some of the picks I've given recently immediately start going up, and I know that's what a lot of people like. You like to immediately see those gains. So for one, the answer is no, because I can't tell you what they're going to do. I can't tell you how many other people are going to invest in this project. I can't, you're just getting good projects. I'm sorry. I think it's reckless. I'll make this statement. I think it's reckless when people just try to keep finding these quick 2 and 3x's and 8x's, because I'm sorry. Here I go. I'm not going to rant long, y'all, but y'all should be used to this if you watch my channel. When you do that, that's like, to me, that's like the person who serial dates. I'm just dating the past time. So you keep dating this person because this one's fine, and you didn't had enough of the bedroom with her. I'll say, because I don't know if I can say the word on live stream. You've had enough of the bedroom with her, so you're gonna go date this other girl, get some bedroom from her, and you're gonna date this girl. And you know what happens? You end up 45, 57 years old and not married and don't have anybody that you love because you kept serial dating. Stop serial dating these cryptos. Find good ones that you can hold and just wait for the 100x. Because you can feel cool about these micro caps you find, and you do a quick 8x on them, and then sometimes everybody says they're not going to do it. I ain't gonna keep holding it. I'm just trying to get an 8x, but sometimes you start feeling good about that pick and you keep holding it, and then it goes down. I just find good picks, man. I can't tell you whether they're gonna do a quick 2x or 3x, but if you ever do hear me say that, it probably is going to happen. Because like I said, one of the picks I've been talking about for months, some people in the Patreon didn't get bullish on it until they saw a bigger influencer talk about it yesterday. And then all of a sudden they were like, oh man, where can I buy it? What do you think? Should I buy it now? You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel offended by that. But I know, and I think that person is the same way. This person, when they give their predictions, they're very conservative. So I think yesterday, one of the picks they said, like, that I've been talking about for months, they said, like, I think like 50x, and people are like, wait, if they said this, then this project could go crazy because they give low predictions. And I was like, I've been trying to tell y'all, like, I mean, hey, but you hear it from another horse. So anyway, let me get off that rant. Issa, I think I've been saying Issa. I believe it's Issa. Y'all forgive my brain sometimes. I'm in live mode. Said, thanks for all the info on Army of Fortune. Is out. What do you think about the tokenomics? I think they're fine, but what I didn't like is like them launching on. I still got this on screen. Somebody's gonna scrub through and like, he's bullish on Kudos. I'm gonna buy it. I try to always go back to this page. I just wish it was on more exchanges. I can't touch it now. I know some of my friends got in the pre-sales and stuff for it, but I didn't, and I'm feeling sad. They're on a DEX right now, I believe. Let me check that. But the price impact is crazy, and I don't want to lose my 20%. So I've been battling whether I'm gonna pick up the token or not, because I got to take that price impact, and that doesn't make me feel too good. So I wish they would have launched some exchanges where U.S. citizens could touch it, but they did not. Yeah, this price impact on the DEX is, man. I can't say whether it's worth it or not. You just puts a lot on my brain. I was actually trying not to think about this later, until later. But you're free to ask any question you want. But I was trying to think about this later because the price impact on the token is just it's just too much on the DEX right now. It's not enough liquidity. Um, EA say RightStream is dumb. Man, I'm a filmmaker. I'll tell you, I was looking at this project. I'm like, man, you thought you got me messed up, man. Like RightStream, man, y'all better get it together, bro. That don't sound bullish at all to me. But like I said, it could pump because people could be like, oh, it's the next hello, or whatever. But no, RightStream ain't sounding like the move to me. As a filmmaker, I'm not excited about what they talking about at all. Ad Tank said, "What up? So, love your live stream. So much alpha. Is it? I be trying. I talk about the perspective and stuff. I know everybody just want to hear you throw out a whole bunch of micro caps, but I love when you speak about life too. Y'all just want to see me cry. Y'all crazy. Y'all think y'all funny. I ain't funny. I know what it is. Listen, now I tell people all the time, I ain't embarrassed about that at all. Because I know EA is my boy. EA probably was watching that stream like, what is this dude doing? Dude, you crying on stream and stuff? I love my lady though, man. I'm telling you, it's a good thing, man. You find a person you can share your life with and actually be a life partner with. See, I'm gonna get emotional now. You want me to talk about life, so I cry. Ad Tank. I know what you up to. I know what you're up to. Um, as he said, Hello is a way better project than Right. Yeah, I mean, Hello's got the backer. They got the influencers. I can't think of his name. Forgive me, but the guy behind the project is pretty cool too. And I got in hella early, so we'll see what happens with it. No, I just didn't like where RightStream. It didn't make logical sense to me. But if you say the right talking points, it can make sense to other people. But it don't make. It's, as a filmmaker and a person who looks for funding, I mainly fund my own. But it didn't sound too hot to me. Love Francine said, "What are your thoughts about Launchpad tokens?" Hey man, you get in as early as possible. Um, myself, me and EA talk about this too. That I don't really do the pre-sale thing or whatever, but I find out that it could be very bullish if you get in early in these projects. So getting those Launchpad tokens can, get you into some of these projects early, and you can already have your tokens before they reach the market. You can get them at cheaper prices, but you got to weigh the value of, how many tokens. You got to see how many tokens you need first before you get in these Launchpads, and the price is up. Like I think EA was telling people way long ago. So I think somebody tried to comfort him and like, oh, you just talking about Cetify now. I know for a fact that EA has been talking about Cetify forever, saying, hey, and he was talking about it when it was dirt cheap. And, you got to get these Launchpad tokens when they're dirt cheap because they're going to be expensive in the bull run because everybody's going to be trying to get these early allocations. Bullish, but you got to weigh the pros and cons, see how much of an allocation you can get from holding a certain amount of tokens. If you got to hold $5,000 worth of tokens to get a $80 allocation, then it may not be worth it. You may just be good on holding that $5,000 and investing in the different projects. Next question, as he said, is it possible to start showing the comments that, yeah, oh man, my lady's been talking about that too. I've got to, yeah, because I am on different platforms. And so you guys may not be seeing all the questions. I'm hoping if you're looking on your phone, you can see the questions, but I will. I'm just getting this channel started. I got to find a way to get the questions on stream so you guys can see what I'm looking at as well. I will work on that, Ezzy. Thanks for bringing that question forward. Say said, give me a big discount, bro, to pay for, man, listen, y'all don't take my big card for granted because my Patreon is already cheap, man. I can't do no deals like, maybe you have a lifetime membership maybe, but yeah, we'll work something out. If it's lifetime or what, let me tell you something. I'll be straightforward about this, and I tell you all the time. I'm not making this channel to be a YouTuber. After this cycle, this channel will be gone. You hear me? It will be gone because I plan on becoming rich. If there's another cycle, maybe I'll come back. But listen, I'm helping people make money this cycle, and yeah, so lifetime, I would say what we would call that a 1 or 2 year membership or whatever. Because yeah, I'm only here. Y'all heard what I said. You said I am one of your first few subscribers. Hey, as far as lifetime, maybe we can work out a deal. I'll try to remember your comment, or maybe you can DM me on Twitter. It's CryptoZo. What is my Twitter handle? I don't even know. It's on the YouTube somewhere. DM me on Twitter and we could talk about it. Because for some reason you can't message people on Patreon if you're not a part of it, but I guess that makes sense. Nicholas said, "Hey man, glad to have you back. Looks like your last live was glitching." Yeah, I kicked the plug out. Is it plugged up? Yeah, the camera wasn't plugged up last time and it made it freeze up. Yeah, I just scared me there. Do you also the same thing? Do I offer lifetime memberships? I know y'all should probably saying he should work harder to get this money, but that's not why I do it. So I'm probably making it hard for y'all by saying DM me on Twitter. But um, I'll have you know what? The Patreon is on here. I'll add that somehow on the Patreon. I'll add a tier this lifetime membership if that's something y'all want to do. But I will. Should I say that? No, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna say that. Eddie said, "Thanks, though. Glad I found your channel and Patreon. I wish I would have found you sooner." Hey, man. Yeah, you really keep me encouraged in there sometimes or whatever. Because sometimes I'm like, I hope y'all enjoy what's going on here. It gets quiet, but I know everybody's at work or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Cordo said, "Any thoughts on virtual version? Is that the ticker? Check D. Is that the ticker?" Um, let me let me look at that. See what's going on there. I feel like when I go back to look at my ramble on RightStream, it'll be too long. I be trying not to ramble, y'all. It was just kind of funny to me what they said they were doing. I don't try to knock anybody's goals, but it just didn't sound hot to me. Um, okay, let's see what's going on here. When did y'all? Okay, y'all launched at the end of the bull run. It was at the end. A lot of times when projects launched at the end of the last bull run, they still could be good, but you got to kind of really gauge and see if they're still developing, or did they launch on purpose at that time in the cycle to just pump. Hmm. Building infrastructure for trusted data markets on Cosmos. I like the Cosmos ecosystem. I see my boy Cito is following them. Of course, Cito knows everything in the Cosmos space. Let me see something else. Let me see. So nothing there. Um, I'm researching this project, y'all know. Well, y'all should know that. Yeah, like he just stopped talking. This might be one I'm gonna have to come back to. Okay, let me see. Okay. So if that's the same ticker, the check D, they when they launched at the end of the last bull cycle, they had some pretty good pretty decent, pretty good VCs behind them. It's all about doing the research to see if this is still something that they're working to, just being honest, working to pump. Is it something they're bullish on? Are they still developing? Um, I don't like their blurb, to be honest. It doesn't make me bullish on it really. I try to look for stuff that can be hype, but not. I mean, not everything that's good is gonna be super hype. But I'll just have to look into it more. I can't say anything about it right now. The check D or whatever. Check ticker check. Um, I don't know if virtual version was something different. Maybe you're gonna have to give me a ticker on that. But let's look at this next one real quick. Man, that ticker is all kinds of. Oh, it's slash seed. So are you saying that seed is the ticker? Oh, okay, that's what you were saying. I feel like I heard about this one before, maybe in passing. So they just launched recently. They have a decent amount of their circulating supply out already. They are building the WordPress of Web3, launch tokens or pre-sales in minutes. Oh, I do remember hearing about this. Um, I guess I was kind of bullish on the idea, but the project itself, I'm gonna have to look deeper into. I don't know why I didn't chase this immediately to look into it. But let me see something else on it. I do remember, yeah, I did know this one. I heard about this one probably around the time it was launching. But I will need to look deeper into it, like see the development. Their branding looks pretty. The branding looks nice, but what markets are they in? Dex is right now. X mark is sometimes is a red flag to me sometimes, but I don't know. I got to look deeper into it. I don't want to say too much here, but I'll look into it. I will put it on my list. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Adtink said, "No, bro. You seem to be more like a crypto philosopher." Oh, really? Yeah, because like I said, I never know how people see me. But all I can say is I'm trying to help people make money. That's all I can tell you. That's for sure that I know about myself. Um, Bitcoin trying to do a little something, something, ain't it? Okay. Um, Cordell said, "Oh, oh yeah, you asking again." BitRock, I remember seeing that shield a lot, and I remember not liking it. I don't want to be disrespectful and not look it up on stream. I'll look it up again, but I remember not liking BitRock. I know they were trying to act like they were another layer two, like Polygon or something like that. Something was just fishy about BitRock. I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong, but I remember not liking it. Something was just fishy about it. Um, I just remember really not liking it. That's all I can tell you. And if it stuck out for me that much and my brain is immediately sending that signal to me, that means I probably looked at it enough to say that I don't like BitRock. Um, yeah, I didn't like it. I will look at it more later again to reaffirm what I said. But yeah. William said, "How much for Patreon? And are you bullish on Hello?" My Patreon is only $50. I guess I got to do like the other YouTubers and chill it. There's my Patreon at patreon.com/cryptozo. I bought Hello way early. So this is what I tell people all the time. Like somebody said, "Hey, I feel like you spent that last stream flooding other projects instead of talking about the projects you're bullish on." As I said before, I don't have to talk about my projects all the time. And um, here's the statement I was trying to say is I got in Hello early. And as I said on my channel when I first started, and I stand by this, I'm trying to help my Patreon members find stuff they can get in early. So would I really be would I be trying to shield Hello to you guys right now at where the market cap is? Let me look. Let me pull this up. I don't have to pump my bags. If they're gonna pump, they're gonna pump. Um, so bullish on it. I still hold Hello. I bought it early, way earlier than this. Um, would I push this to someone right now? What is circulating on this? The fully diluted difference is not between fully diluted and circulating is not big, so that's a good thing. Um, it could very well listen. It could very well, get to 3 and 7 billion with all the influencers pumping it. Um, Hello is just I hold it. I'm bullish on it, but there's just so many factors that can make it win or lose. Mind you, like I said, I hold it. So that's because I got in early. Could I see people at least getting a 50x out of this right now? It could. If the influencers pump the crap out of it and the show does well and they implement some more other things, it could still do a 50x from where it's at. Um, I don't know. And see, I also feel different about it because, like I said, I know where I got in, and it makes me feel different about pitching it to different people. Now that it's at 70 million. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all not even seeing what I'm looking at. I got to be better at switching my tabs. But yeah, I hold it, and it's just a lot of things that depend. We know Rand is on it from Crypto Banner, so he starts talking about his channel. Y'all know Rand will pump the crap out of a coin in no time. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I can't give an answer on stream whether I would tell somebody to get into it now. I'm sorry, I couldn't give a better answer there. Cordell said ticker is VV virtual versions. Let me take a look at that. I mean, hello should get the 3.5 billion market cap, which is near 50x. So 40 50x, it could still do that from here to try to give you some type of answer. This one's a super low market cap. I'm not even gonna put this on the stream. It just launched a while ago. It says it is what? Building your digital identity. We enable users to own their data and social identity with decentralized AI digital twins. Sounds kind of cool. It's almost like the whole PAL AI thing. Um, they have decent exchanges, I guess. It sounds cool and gimmicky at the same time. Like, who's to say? Like, is this going to be interoperable across? Like, is my avatar going to be interoperable across whatever I'm using, whatever blockchain I'm using, or whatever? It seems cool. That sounded like a bear statement, but it was. It seems cool what they're doing, but I would have to look more into it. It doesn't sound bad necessarily, but I would have to look more into this before giving an answer. But I would like to. I would say if that's what they're doing, it should be, if you're making your digital twin, let me read it again. They say we enable users to own their data and their social identity with a decentralized AI digital twin you can use anywhere. They say you can use it anywhere, so maybe it's interoperable. I have to look into that. But can I use? Is this more like an NFT? Can I use this to sign into different accounts and those? Like, how many partnerships do you have? Like, you're saying I can use it anywhere, but where the places that I can use it. That stuff I would have to dig into it when I look into it and um you know see like where they're working. They're on decent exchanges, Bybit, Mexi, BitGet, and the decentralized exchanges. They got Bitmart. Probably need some bigger exchanges, but decent so far. And let me look at one more thing on it. Um, yeah, I would have to look more into this one. Um, Sounds kind of cool though. We'll see. Natty said Crypto's Seth said Sophia Robot is a scam. I can't believe she's the CEO of SophiaVerse. They must be trolling. I think they recently did change that though, because it was kind of crazy. But I was. Does he think SophiaVerse is a scam? The robot is not. I mean, they've been developing that robot forever, and they've been making some pretty big moves with it. And for people who know the Sophia robot, um, when they come into the space, I think it's going to be bullish for SophiaVerse. But like I said, we'll see. There's a lot, as I say, even with projects I hold, there's a lot of shiny new toys out there. It's all about the public sentiment and what retail thinks about it, and how the community grows and how they market it and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't. If somebody thinks a pick that I talked about is bad, I don't mind. I don't have. It's not gonna make me have a problem with Seth. I think Seth is a cool guy. But he's going to have his points of views, and he's entitled to that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the robot, what they're doing is kind of cool and creepy at the same time. But yeah, I mean, he's entitled to that opinion. That's cool. Um, Cordes, I appreciate you answering my questions, brother. Your channel is fire. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Where do you see Bintensor Tau and Casper? I don't even know why you put those in the same sentence, my guy. Um, Tau, I believe pump they're gonna pump the crap out of that. They got Tau has some of the biggest backers. It's one of the biggest AI projects right now. Um, um, conservatively, I believe Tau could probably hit 50 billion market cap. No telling, they could pump this thing to Valhalla, as they say. They may pump it to 100 billion. You never know. But I think it could get at least like 50 billion, because of the people that's behind it, and it's like the top AI project in the space right now, as far as people are seeing or whatever. Um, Casper, I'd see doing. I talk about this all the time. I see Casper getting to. I think it was a cool bear market play, and if you got in early, I would say this though, as I say every time somebody asks me about Casper, um, it's not about to do a 400x like I've seen people say. I do not believe it's going to do 100x like people say. As of where is that right now, I feel it like you know 15x. I think 30x is ambitious. The community, if the community can get behind it and market it to retail investors as they come in with, I think they need to stop saying it's better than Bitcoin, and that's for them. That's to help them. I think that's going to really like be bad for it. But if they can, promote it to retail or whatever, it can get 60 billion. Maybe I think 60 billion is a lot, because now you're talking 60 billion is like what projects get to when they have heavy investors, I mean VCs behind them, and they have or there's a meme coin that's like the craziest meme coin of the cycle. When you're talking about or a really good layer one that reaches those types of valuations. I could be wrong, but like I said, I see 30 billion for Casper, maybe 40 to 60 billion. But when you're talking about hitting 100 billion, I think you just been, you've been smoking too much ganja, you've been hitting the pipe too much, or maybe your vape pen is really strong. That's what I got to say about that. Say said, bro, do you have a Telegram so we can directly DM you? I think you can directly DM me on the Discord. Listen, y'all, that's a lot what I do already. I don't want to open up something else, to be honest. I'm just being completely honest. As far as the whole Telegram thing, maybe once I get my flow better, but I got to help the people that I got now. Like I said, I'm not on here to just keep collecting new Patreons. It's cool if you come over. I got to help the ones that are in there now. And that's my main focus. So when I start adding other stuff into, it's just too much after a while. Post your Patreon joining link, bro. Oh yeah. I'm not good at the whole shilling thing. So I guess I gotta get better at that. Let's see. Does this work over here? Let me know if that shows up. I'm actually in the streaming software right now. I'm not on YouTube. So let's see how that works. Say, do you accept crypto fees towards Patreon? I gotta figure that out. I have that on my list because a lot of people have asked about that. Like post my wallet address. I got to figure that out. I know I would do that for a lifetime membership, but far as monthly, I use Patreon to keep up with the subscriptions or whatever. And the lady's going to be on that. So if somebody ain't paid their dues, she is kicking them out the Discord immediately. But that's why I use Patreon to keep up the subscriptions. I got to find a way to use crypto to do that. Cordo says, doesn't Casper solve the trilemma and they got smart contracts, also fair launch? Yeah, I mean, that sounds all cool and all. Okay. First block DAG is debatable. They do have good developers, but listen, that's what I'm saying. If you can promote that stuff to retail when it comes out, that's what we're all doing with our cryptos. We're promoting them to retail that comes in later and telling them reasons to be bullish. So they say they solved the trilemma. They already have smart contracts, and that's their fair launch. Those are their selling points. You got to sell that to people. It's not about whether it's good or not, or it does what it says. It's the fact that the market cap is already high. So like I said, you got to think about the X's that the market cap can do, and it's already at 2 billion. So if somebody's up here telling you that it could 5 and 400X, which like I say this every stream, somebody asks about it. I said I thought they did it as clickbait, but apparently these people are really selling to people that Casper is going to 400, 500X. That's $1 trillion. Do you see where Bitcoin is now? Bitcoin is not even at $1 trillion. And Bitcoin is the biggest asset that everybody cares about. Oh, but you don't understand, Zoe. It's better than Bitcoin and it's still proof of work. You go sell that to somebody. Go sell that narrative to somebody and see how that works out. I told you I would bet all my crypto it doesn't hit $1 trillion. Y'all can go ahead and try to say, tell that maybe that could be one of your selling points. Hey, this YouTuber Crypto Zoe said it's not going to reach $1 trillion. So now we got to work to make it hit $1 trillion to prove them wrong. You can go ahead and try it. Be my guest, but I don't think it's going to hit $1 trillion. That's foolery. Like that don't even make sense. So like I said, 1530X is my most bullish for Casper because it's at 2.3 billion or something like that right now. I'm gonna leave that one because people say they always saying I'm FUD and stuff. At least that's what one comment said. William said, "Thank you, Zoe, for your response to my question." No problem, man. AdTank said, "Could you give some tips on cashing out? How do you do it?" I need to make a video on that, but quickly I'll give you a quick little something. So when I cash out, cash out the stable coins, I cash out to about 65% USDC, 35% USDT, and when you have those percentages already, but then I cash out to different blockchains for the long term hold. I put it on the Ethereum blockchain, and then I'll put some on Solana blockchain. What am I going to do this cycle? Maybe I'll do some Arbitrum, or I know I'm going to do Ethereum and Solana, but like maybe I'll do Arbitrum and maybe Polygon. But yeah, so I put it in two different types of stable coins. Maybe I'll do more. We got to see what these other stable coins do. But mainly, I trust USDC and USDT right now, and then put it on different blockchains in case one blockchain is slow. But like I said, for the ones I plan on holding long term, the large point, it will be on Ethereum because I'm not trying to spend it right away, because I do plan on spending my crypto off credit cards and debit cards and all that kind of good stuff. That because Tangent has a Visa card coming out that you can spend your crypto off of it. So that's the quickest explanation. Cordell said there is also a Casper having. Thanks again. Great show. Yeah. Like I said, it's not being bearish on Casper. I just don't think it's going to do 100 and 400x like people are saying. I think it has about a 15, 30x in it. 30x is probably the most for me. That's what I'm saying. If it could hit a 40, I don't see the 50x, man. I don't see it. I see, like I said, I see 15 to 30x. Prove me wrong though. I don't mind. Any thoughts on Shido? I have already talked about that in the Patreon and put out some information. Excuse me. I didn't even bring a water up here. Sorry. Let me drink something real quick. But I've already talked about Shido in the a while ago. It's proof of stake blockchain. They were built on the Cosmos SDK and all that kind of stuff. Interoperable. They want to connect 30 different blockchains or whatever. They say that the finality is 10,000 transactions per second. They may be in mainnet right now. I know they were in testnet when I first started talking about it, but they may be in mainnet now, and maybe I got to catch up on that. I didn't buy any yet, but I was saying that it did look like a good project. I put a lot of information in there. It's EVM compatible, and they're going to be on the parallelization narrative as well. I don't know if you know about that. Like, you have Solana, Say, I think Sui's on the parallelization network. Narrative as well. They're building their own DEX that has spot trading and perp trading. And then you can yield farm on there. Their DEX also, you can do limit orders on it. They have a stable coin. It's kind of cool when people try to make their own stable coin, but it's kind of, I don't know. It could be cool. We'll see what they do with it or whatever. But they have a mobile app, that's already on the Google Play Store or whatever. And they're also trying to have their own, or do they already have they have their own MasterCard, debit card that's on MasterCard. Did I say it? They have a debit card that runs on MasterCard or whatever. So, because there's Visa, but there's this MasterCard that you can spend your crypto off of it. So it's pretty, it's a pretty cool looking project. Yeah. Like I said, I just read off the information, but yeah, I've been talking about Shido a while already. Atting said, more like, when do you cash out after getting some X's? Oh man, you don't want to hear that. I don't even know because I'm a DJ, man. I'm always watching the time in the market and watching my projects. Yeah, I'll have that. That would be. I can't even say that on stream right now. I have to make a video on that because I think about it so differently than other people. Quick follow up question about Tangent. Can you sell into stables directly on the app? Yeah, as far as I know. Now some of them they're still working on, like some of the coins that may be new. They're still working on that, but I know you can sell back into Ethereum or whatever and then convert that to stable coins or whatever. But I gotta, I'm not trading in and out, so I know the ability is there, and I hold multiple Tangent wallets, but I gotta really look deeper into that. But yeah, you should be, especially by the time the bull run is full swing. I'm pretty sure they're going to have it where you can sell it straight into stable coins. They should if they're smart. Or do you do it on the SEX and then send it to Tangent? I'm going to look more into that question. I don't. But I will say I don't think you should contemplate getting a Tangent. I think you should just go ahead and get it. It's one of the best cold wallets, hardware wallets that you can get. And it's easy to use. You can put in your wallet versus when you're going through the airport, you don't have to worry about putting it somewhere else. It's like a credit card, so you can just hold it on you. Of course, don't hold all your Tangents on you. Keep some somewhere else. As he said, I don't think that any of the top 50 crypto will do 100x. Impossible. What are the top 100s? Let me look at the top 100 market caps real quick. I'm probably agreeing with you, of course, because it sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, so the last in the top 100 is at 600 million. I will say if some of these go crazy, they actually could, but it's far-fetched. You're right. It's far-fetched. But I'm seeing some of them that possibly could go crazy. But for the most part, you're correct. The ones in the top 100, yeah, talking about doing a 100x. No, man. I don't know who's selling y'all that ganja, but it's not true. Anyways, y'all tell me, do I talk too much? I feel like I'll be trying to get good information. I'll go back and look and stuff. But man, I keep crossing the hour. I be trying to keep this under an hour. Y'all don't know how hard I be trying. But y'all ask the questions and I want to answer them. Y'all hang out with me, so I want to hang out with y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all jobs and work out and doing your own research on cryptos because I got some research to do. I got a lot of things to do outside of crypto today, but I try to spend most of my time on crypto so I can help my Patreon out. And I try to talk as fast as I can, as you see. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me once again. He said, "No man, make it 2 hours." No man, I gotta research stuff for the group, and that's hard. Listen, I've been trying to squeeze what they say, blood out of an orange or whatever. I'm like, man, I want to find some new picks this week. Listen, I'll say this. I feel like finding 2 good picks a month is good, but I really be trying to find 2 and 3 a week if I can. But I don't want to give people too many picks, so I just try to make sure I'm finding the best picks for you guys. And some of the ones that I really want to pitch that have, like some of y'all know, have not had the best launches or whatever. So, yeah, I got to research, man. I'm trying to make money. This ain't about building a YouTube channel and being a YouTuber. I got to go make this money. I am trying to make sure my kids have the best life that they can have. I don't have kids yet, but when I do, so yeah, my goal is to make money, not collect streaming minutes. But I appreciate you guys for hanging out, and we'll do this again. And hopefully, don't sound like I'm flooding the bag. So yeah, catch you.